Okay, so picture this. 2 weeks ago, OpenAI dropped Sora 2, and within 7 days, 627,000 people have downloaded it on iOS alone. It hits number one in the App Store. But here's the kicker. People aren't just using it, they're asking whether this thing could actually dethrone TikTok and Instagram. That's a pretty bold claim for an AI video generator, right?
Wait, hold on. So we're talking about an app that creates videos from text prompts, and people think it's going to replace platforms where millions of creators have built their entire careers? That seems, I don't know, like comparing a really fancy paintbrush to an art gallery?
Exactly. That's what makes this story so fascinating. See, Atypica.ai just finished this deep research project, and what they found challenges everything we think we know about how new platforms disrupt old ones. They interviewed actual users, creators, marketers, even people who tried Sora 2 and gave up. And the picture that emerged is way more complex than the headline suggests.
Okay, so before we dive into whether Sora 2 is the next TikTok, help me understand what we're actually dealing with here. When people say AI video generator, what does that mean in practice?
Think of it this way. You type a cat wearing sunglasses skateboarding through a neon city, and 5 seconds later, you've got a realistic looking video clip. No camera, no editing, no production crew. The app has this feature called Cameo, where you can even insert yourself into these impossible scenarios. Users are creating everything from historic speeches with modern memes to completely surreal advertising content.
Huh? And people are actually watching this stuff, not just making it?
That's where it gets interesting. Atypica discovered that Sora 2 isn't really one thing, it's solving completely different jobs for different people. They use this framework called Jobs to be Done, which basically asks, what is this person really hiring this product to accomplish?
Jobs to be done. Explain that.
Sure. So instead of asking who uses Sora 2, they asked, what job is Sora 2 being hired to do? And they found three distinct jobs. First, there are creators who are hiring it to instantly manifest their imaginative vision. These are people with wild ideas that would be impossible or crazy
Expensive to film.
traditionally. One user told them it's like having a co-creator that can bring any fantasy to life.
Okay, that makes sense. What's the second job?
Businesses are hiring it for scalable, cost-effective content production. Here's a number that'll blow your mind. One marketing agency owner said they're seeing a 200 by efficiency gain. They can create video ads for 50 cents to $1 each, compared to $200 for traditional user-generated content.
200 times more efficient? That's not an improvement. That's changing the entire economics of advertising.
Exactly. And the third job is probably the most disruptive. Aspiring creators are hiring it to generate monetizable content with minimal effort. These are people who want to break into the creator economy but don't want to be on camera, don't have video editing skills, basically all the traditional barriers that kept them out.
So, wait, that third group, those are people who weren't creating videos before at all.
Bingo. And this is where Atypica's analysis gets really sharp. They applied something called disruptive innovation theory, which looks at how new technologies topple established players. The theory says disruption often happens in two ways. You either serve a completely new market that didn't exist before, or you provide a good enough solution that's way more convenient than the fancy incumbent options.
And Sora 2 is doing both.
According to their research, yes. It's creating net new creators, people who never made videos before because the barriers were too high. But it's also providing a good enough solution for businesses that were overpaying for traditional video production. The disruption isn't happening where TikTok is strongest, it's happening in spaces TikTok wasn't even competing for.
But if that's true, why isn't Sora 2 already taking over? I mean, you mentioned it hit number one, but
Great question. Here's where the story takes a turn. Despite those massive download numbers, the app is sitting at about a 2.8 star rating. Users are frustrated with the invite-only system, technical glitches, content restrictions.
more fundamentally,
Atypica found that most users don't actually want Sora 2 to be the next TikTok.
what do you mean?
Every single person they interviewed, from corporate strategists to aspiring creators, saw Sora 2's primary value as a powerful tool that works best when integrated with existing platforms. They want to create with Sora 2, then share on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's like having an amazing camera. You don't need the camera company to also run a social network.
So the real story isn't about Sora 2 replacing anyone. It's about ... It's about a fundamental shift in how content gets created. Atypica calls it moving from a capture-first world to an imagination-first world.
For decades, social platforms have been built around the smartphone camera, capture reality, edit it, share it. Sora 2 represents something totally different. Imagine something, generate it, share it.
And that shift is what has the established players worried.
Exactly. The research suggests we're looking at a hybrid future. Scenario 1, Sora 2 thrives as an engine powering content creation across the internet through APIs, while incumbents like Instagram and TikTok integrate similar AI features. Scenario 2, Sora 2 somehow builds its own social ecosystem, though that's the much harder path.
What should people in the industry be doing right now?
Atypica's recommendations are pretty direct. If you're running a social platform, you need to integrate AI video generation immediately, not next year, not next quarter, now. If you're in adjacent markets like e-commerce or creative tools, explore partnerships with AI providers. And everyone needs to think through brand safety and authenticity issues, because this AI slop problem is real.
I keep thinking about those aspiring creators you mentioned. If the barrier to making videos basically disappears, what happens to the creator economy?
That might be the biggest question of all. When everyone can generate Hollywood-quality videos from their phone, what makes a creator valuable? Maybe it shifts from production skills to imagination, storytelling, understanding audiences. The tools are democratizing, but the human insights, that might become even more precious.
2 weeks in, 627 downloads, and we're already asking whether the entire creative economy is about to transform. Thanks for walking us through Atypica's research, and thank you all for listening.